I hope what I'm about to show you will make you really reflect on your life, who you are and where you're at, because it ultimately leads to life or death. Life is movement, progress. Death is stagnation, stuck in a repetitive pattern that's going nowhere. Lots of people are leaving the planet right now who don't want to change. They're choosing to stay in their patterns and habits. There is so much more to health than just what you eat or yoga or meditation. True health comes from something much deeper. Those who read my book, Heal Yourself 101, know that my father had aggressive prostate cancer. He had a choice, change your ways or die. He chose to stop his meat and alcohol, bread, milk, and cheese. He did it. He did green juices, herbs, and 6 enemas a day, and within 30 days, his PSA was down to 0 and his cancer was gone. He did it. That was the easy part. And here lies the important lesson. The more dramatic the healing, right? The more we feel like Superman. We want to celebrate. We think we can do whatever we want after that. We're home free. Well, 5 years went by and my father started going to Starbucks again on a regular basis. He started eating bread, cheese, English muffins. You can see where I'm going with this. But like everyone else, there's more to it than that. There always is. You see, my dad never really achieved his dream of true freedom. He had a 250-acre farm, but things kept breaking down almost daily. One thing after another just kept knocking him down financially. He was a hard worker, but he was set in his ways. The world was changing, but a part of him just wouldn't. He always dreamed of ending up on a tropical beach somewhere, but in his last 30 years, he never took one vacation. There was a lot of stress, so he started eating comfort foods again just to make it through the day. The cancer came back, and this time, it won. There is an important lesson here. That's why I wrote The Prosperity Secret. I can't say this enough. If you aren't happy with your life, you need to do something right now. Even if it's simply giving up and letting go, there is always a way out. Stop resisting, stop fighting. I guarantee you something much more gratifying is waiting for you. True health and prosperity comes from having the freedom to be you, to truly express yourself without compromise or limitation. Please read The Prosperity Secret. Being stubborn or fearful can kill you. Lastly, dying is not the end. It's a beautiful new beginning for everyone. There are countless stories of people that came back from the dead, explaining in full detail, not just with what was happening in the room, but down the hall, across town, and around the world. They were not limited by their bodies anymore. They could see, hear, feel, and grasp a much bigger picture. And most importantly, they were still very much alive, even more than we are here. So with that, I'd like to show you a beautiful, touching little video on how my family and I said goodbye to my father. I hope it inspires you to live. Ed Rothkranz, Edmund Rothkranz. My father, one of the most respected trainers and riders in the horse world. What does the horse represent? Think about it. It represents life itself. A beautiful, living, breathing thing that can carry you from one place to another. It can lift you above your problems below. You can even make it dance. He worked hard all his life. Too hard, in fact. His last 30 years were not easy and he wasn't able to take a vacation. So when it came time for him to move on, we knew the perfect goodbye. I remember as a kid, my father would sit there late at night drawing designs for a perpetual engine, a motor that would run without any fuel, no gasoline, no electricity. It would just run on its own and never stop. This concept fascinated him, free energy. Little did he realize that he himself was the perpetual engine, an energy source that never stopped, running on no fuel but the force of his own dreams. Right to the very last moment, that motor inside him ran so strong as the day he was born. He never ever gave up. His willpower was so strong, he had so much energy, it wore out the shell he was in. And now that he's no longer confined inside a limited body, he is finally free to experience anything he's ever wanted, to be everywhere at the same time. The thing about my father I am the most proud of is the most amazing relationship he had with his loving wife, Helga. For 50 years, no matter what happened, no matter what they went through it together, and it just made them stronger. What my parents had is something the world needs more of again. Everybody has dreams. Sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. But no matter what, we need to stay true to the things that matter the most. Having someone by your side through the good and the bad is what makes life worth living. He always dreamed of going to a tropical island paradise. Hawaii is the perfect place to set him free. Even the sound of the name Hawaii is magical. And it's not just the islands themselves, but the people here. They are so warm and embracing. The very air and water here welcomes you with a loving embrace. Now, finally, the sun, sand, palm trees, and water can embrace him so he can be on vacation forever. This is just the beginning for him. No more problems. He is now free to travel the world. Rothkranz in German means red wreath. It is the name my mother took as her own 50 years ago. It was so beautiful and touching seeing her placing a red wreath made from fresh Hawaiian flowers into the sea with his ashes. He always loved beauty and nature. When it came time to look for flowers for the funeral, they were everywhere. Every bush, plant, and tree on the island was overflowing with flowers, each one more beautiful than the last. It was like nature was smiling at my father, letting him know he is appreciated and loved. It was like nature was saying, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." As I put his ashes in the water, I could feel the energy being freed. It was like a million horses being set free and sprouting wings. He was no longer fenced in. He became pure energy, and with the speed of light, his soul was already halfway around the world within seconds. His world travels had just begun. Our hearts and souls go with him. The canoes circled the flowers and ashes 2 times, husband and wife. Water represents emotion, the fluidity of life, and the womb to which we return. It is motion. It never stops moving, just like my father. The Hawaiians said it was perfect for someone who was an unstoppable engine to be set free in the ocean, because the ocean never stops. It is always flowing and moving. Water is the greatest traveler. It has circled the earth since the beginning of time. I felt so honored to be ushered through the water by the personal muscle power of Hawaiian natives. This is as personal and human as it gets. They opened themselves up to us and gave us the most natural, down-to-earth, connecting with nature funeral possible. Life is fluid. It flows like water and never stops, but it always changes. The secret to life is to simply allow ourselves to become like water and flow with the changes, appreciating everything we encounter along the way. The flowers formed a straight line and made their way past the hotel we were staying at on Kaanapali Beach. It was here, in Maui, Hawaii, on September 15th, 2011, that Edmund Rothkranz was finally set free.